you had an orgasm yet?
No, and I know you haven't listened to the podcast, but I have not. I have not at all, and I think I'm a wonderful actress.
Now I know we're doing on the podcast.
Yep, that's it. She just couldn't get her nut, and then boom, they broke up, which is typically what happens, right? She can't get off, she leaves, goodbye. Nah, I'm just kidding. I think it's actually a lot deeper than that, and I think it's even deeper than they portrayed in their breakup video. I mean, obviously, not everybody shows everything on the internet, right? You're not going to want to air out all your dirty laundry. Plus, given the fact that their relationship was very much a business relationship, they also didn't want to destroy their fan bases, right? So they put out a lighthearted breakup video. They, say, oh, we're still good. And then they go their separate ways, maintaining both their audiences, right? But I even still think it's a lot deeper than that. So let's get into the less deep part, and then we'll get deeper as we go. Gabby Hanna did an interview, and she says, look, I didn't want to be on the camera all the time, so we kind of drifted apart. I'll show you the interview now.
And I just kind of made a rule for myself where if you're only in my life when the cameras are on, I can't have that in my life right now, Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with collabing. There's nothing wrong with having business relationships. But I'm just a sensitive little bitch, and I need solid support in my life.
Yeah. Every time we interview David Dobrik, there's people yelling at me saying, why don't you ask him about Gabby?
People want problems so badly. That's the thing, is the internet will just try to look for conspiracies. I've heard that I'm the reason they broke up. That's a big thing.
David is also very, very notorious for completely cutting off people who aren't worth anything to the vlog anymore, right? Liza, before they broke up, was in 14 videos in a 2-month period just prior to that. And then after the breakup, only 5 videos she was in. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, and crazy. Honestly, David is very much, if you're not in the content or that and that's it, then you're not in my life, period. So to David Dobrik, everything is content, right? They're always rolling the cameras, hours and hours and hours of footage. Scotty Sire even said, hey, look, we do tons of filming all day long, and then they cut it down into 4 minutes and 20 seconds, which is extremely short, but those cameras have to always be rolling because everything is content, or, you don't want to miss a moment that could be fantastic content, right? And David being very content driven, and then putting the pressure on his friends like Seth, Gabby, Liza, that's a lot of pressure to be under all the time, especially for somebody who's trying to rise to stardom, right? That's part of the reason I think that they drifted apart, but they obviously don't want to say that. So you continue farther in, and Liza is part Indian and part German. So she's a person of color, and if you remember David's older content, it was very, very, very much race-driven, from racist bits about Japanese people.
Yeah, there we go. First we're starting off with No! It's not racist, that's the sounds I hear when they talk.
No, it's not racist as long as I keep saying no.
To racist bits against black stereotypes, like saying the N-word.
Nigga! Looking at these girls, yeah. So what we looking at?
You got away with it. Going to the police station to turn you in.
To the watermelon bit, which David is trying to currently scrub from the internet as well.
Seth, do you want something to drink? Come on, Alex.
And I think to finally put the last nail in that coffin, the black handshake bit that he did, or got Liza and Seth to do.
Black guy! Black guy! Maybe awkward at first, but I'm sure. What's going on?
Right, so nobody likes being the butt of any joke pretty much ever, right? Comedy is very much obviously subjective, but you can chalk all these videos up to, oh, it's just comedy, quit being sensitive, which I would typically agree with. But when you're constantly the butt of the joke, or it's directed to your kind of people or your race, or whatever it might be, you're not going to be happy with that, right? On a personal level. And I'm not talking like a social level, being soft and that kind of stuff. On a personal level, I personally don't want to be the butt of a ton of racist jokes. I don't like it when people, turn around and they're like, oh, snow roach this, snow roach that, go eat your spicy mayonnaise, right? Different story if I make the joke like, oh, this mayonnaise is spicy. Totally different. right? But when it's coming from a partner or somebody you're supposed to call a friend, it feels a lot more hurtful, at least from my experiences, right? I never wanted to be the butt of the joke. I have these two really, really ugly teeth. People make fun of them, regardless of my friends. It still hurts my feelings, right? So Liza being a person of color, and then David, making racist jokes constantly about darker skinned people would obviously weigh on the relationship a ton. However, they're not going to say that in a breakup video, right? They'd already broken up 6 months prior to that. They're just doing that to make their friends happy. And of course, just in case you forgot this.
Have you had an orgasm yet?
No, and I know you haven't listened to the podcast, but I have not. I have not at all. And I think I'm a wonderful
now
actress.
I know what we're doing on the podcast.